Look around you. Feel the ground beneath your feet. Hear the sounds that fill the air. Every sensati, on every experience, seems undeniably real. But what if it isn't? What if the very fabric of our existence, the universe we inhabit, is nothing more than an elaborate illusion, a sophisticated construct designed by minds we can barely comprehend? Welcome to the rabbit hole of the simulation theory, a mind-bending hypothesis that challenges the core of our reality, forcing us to ask, is our universe truly real, or are we just lines of code in a cosmic computer? The seed of the simulation theory is not new. For millennia, thinkers have grappled with the nature of reality. Plato, with his allegory of the cave, asked if our perceptions were merely shadows of a truer form. René Descartes pondered the possibility of an evil demon deceiving our senses, making us doubt everything but our own existence. But it was in 2003 that Swedish philosopher Nick Bostrom formalized these ancient doubts into a compelling modern argument. In his paper, Are You Living in a Computer Simulation?, Bostrom presented a powerful trilemma that has since captivated scientists, philosophers, and even tech billionaires. He argued that at least one of three propositions must be true, and two of them are rather unsettling. Bostrom's simulation argument rests on three seemingly logical, yet mutually exclusive, possibilities regarding advanced civilizations and their capacity for creating simulated realities. The first possibility states that almost all civilizations at our level of technological development fail to reach a posthuman stage, a point where they possess the computational power to create vast, detailed ancestor simulations. They might self-destruct through war, ecological catastrophe, or some unforeseen technological singularity that eradicates them before they ever reach such a capacity. If this is true, then the sheer number of potential simulators is drastically reduced, making our reality less likely to be one of their creations. The second possibility suggests that even if civilizations do reach a posthuman stage, they almost always choose not to run a significant number of ancestor simulations. Perhaps there are ethical reasons they deem it morally wrong to create conscious beings in a simulated reality. Or maybe it's a matter of resource allocation, or a fear of unforeseen consequences. If this is the case, then despite their capability, they simply don't create the simulated worlds we might inhabit. And then there's the third, most provocative possibility, that we are almost certainly living in a computer simulation. If civilizations don't typically go extinct and don't typically choose to avoid simulations, then given enough time, a single posthuman civilization could run billions, even trillions, of ancestor simulations. In a universe teeming with such simulated realities, the statistical probability that we are one of the original, base-level inhabitants, rather than one of the countless simulated ones, becomes astronomically small. While direct proof remains elusive, proponents of the simulation theory point to several perplexing aspects of our universe that could be interpreted as glitches or characteristics of a simulated environment. Quantum mechanics, the very foundation of reality at its smallest scales, is famously bizarre. Particles seem to exist in multiple states simultaneously until observed, at which point they collapse into a single state. This observer effect has led some to speculate that our reality is only rendered when attention is focused on it, much like graphics in a video game only fully load when a player is looking at them. Physics tells us there's a fundamental limit to how small things can be, the Planck length. Below this scale, our current understanding of physics breaks down. Could this be the smallest pixel or unit of data in our simulated reality, the resolution limit of our universe? The universe's fundamental constants, like the strength of gravity, the mass of an electron, or the speed of light, appear to be incredibly fine-tuned for the existence of life. Even a slight deviation in any of these values would render a universe incapable of forming stars, planets, or complex chemistry. Is this a cosmic coincidence, or are these parameters simply the settings chosen by a program? The Fermi paradox asks, if the universe is so vast and ancient, where are all the aliens? One explanation offered by simulation theory is that perhaps the simulation is primarily focused on us, or that other advanced civilizations exist outside of our simulated environment, or have simply been turned off to conserve computational resources. If we were to discover we live in a simulation, the implications would be profound, shaking the very foundations of human thought and belief. Our understanding of reality, free will, and even consciousness itself would be irrevocably altered. Would our choices still be truly our own, or merely predetermined outcomes of an algorithm? Would our lives still hold meaning if they were merely a program running on someone else's machine? The concept of a programmer or simulator could redefine our understanding of a creator. Is this entity a benevolent deity, a curious scientist, or simply a bored teenager in a higher reality? The answers could reshape religious and spiritual beliefs across the globe. For the simulators themselves, the theory raises immense ethical questions. Is it right to create conscious beings in a simulation? Do they have a responsibility to us? And what are the implications if we one day gain the power to create our own detailed simulations of conscious life? Despite its allure, the simulation theory faces significant skepticism and strong counterarguments. Critics argue that the theory is unfalsifiable. There is currently no definitive experiment or observation that could prove or disprove it. Any evidence can be explained away by conventional physics, and any glitch could simply be an anomaly we don't yet understand. Occam's razor suggests that the simplest explanation is usually the correct one. The idea that our universe is a fundamental reality, rather than a nested simulation, requires fewer assumptions and is therefore, arguably, more parsimonious. If we are in a simulation, what about the reality that created our simulators? Are they in a simulation? This leads to an infinite regress, where the base reality is never truly found, merely pushed further and further away. Why would an advanced civilization dedicate such immense computational power to create a simulation identical to their own, or one that is so vast and seemingly purposeless? What would be the motive for such an undertaking? The simulation theory remains one of the most compelling and unsettling ideas of our time. It challenges us to look beyond the surface of what we perceive as real, to question the very nature of existence, whether a genuine scientific possibility, a profound philosophical thought experiment, or mere an elaborate fantasy. It forces us to confront the limits of our understanding. We may never definitively know if our universe is a grand simulation, a cosmic game, or the one true, fundamental reality. But the pursuit of that answer, the relentless quest for truth, is perhaps what truly defines us, simulated or not. In the grand theater of the cosmos, the greatest mystery might just be the stage itself. Thank you for watching our video. Don't forget to like and subscribe. We value your thoughts greatly. Let us know in the comments.